Here we are again. Hey, Tigger. Tigger is about. Here we are again in the 100-acre wood. It's not the 1,000-acre wood, David. So today I was asked by a good friend of mine in chess, whom we know each other primarily from the Christchurch Cathedral Giant chessboard in New Zealand, from that area. So I was asked by him if I could place or look at a game or two of his. Now, I've already done a video for the first game that he sent me, which is quite good, considering that he was a pawn down in a rook and pawning game, and he's with white, and he still managed to win it, and it's quite a good positional game. But this is the game that I've chosen, and of course I can send that video to him. I can share that video with him that I've done before. But this is the game that I share with you, and this is between two people that I know, and my friend is white and my other friend is black. And so this is an Otago Chess Club game on the internet, whatever they're doing. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know. I haven't got a clue. Don't know what's happening. But all I know is that I tried to go on to one of these things before. Didn't work. Didn't work for me. They were giving me the wrong password, or they were keeping on making me think I was going to be in there, but I wasn't. So here we go. Okay, so here we go. Ready, set, go. I'm going to come up to this chess game now. So we have Sky Phaser as white, and I will not drop any games, and this is any names, but these players and early night, and the score is to my friend, which I cannot disclose his name, I'm not going to do that, is 2.5 half, and his opponent, interestingly enough, I was with a chess friend who had a birthday, we'll just say his 21st birthday, okay, and he invited me 2 days before his birthday to a party, and we ended up going to the Italian restaurant, and Brenda and Eddie, it's still going steady in the summer of 75, and all that sort of stuff from Billy Joel. Great song, an Italian restaurant, whatever it's called now, but it's really good. It's one of my favourites from when I'm a young kid, but who cares? Who cares? So this is the game of chess that I've chosen over the other one, but anyway, we were at this Italian restaurant, and guess what I ordered? I could have got spaghetti. I want to have spaghetti. You give me spaghetti, I want to have spaghetti. I don't know, it's the wrong accent, I think. But anyway, I got this large pizza. This very large pizza. It was really big. And I got the largest one I could get and the dearest one I could get. Because these things only happen every so often where I get invited out. And this was great. This was the Italian restaurant. Don't try to even say what it's called because I haven't got a clue. I could have got pasta. I could have got the Italian. I love the Italians because they're always wanting to go to the side that wins. They always like to. I don't know what I mean, but anyway. I like it because New Zealand have actually drawn with them in the World Cup for soccer. That's pretty cool. Okay, that's nothing. Don't have to worry, Dave. Don't have to worry. Anyway, this chess game, I was sitting next to his opponent who's black, and the score is to white is, as you can ascertain, 2.5 half. And there's one player I can't get my head around because we've had 6 games my opponent on leadchess.org. And the score is this. 6 games we've had, and they're all half points, draws. They're all 6 draws. We just had a game yesterday, another 3-minute game or whatever it was, and we've got now 6 out of 6 draws. So we've only got 3 points each. Something, I don't know, I can't understand it. So anyway, this player, who's white, is playing the person that was sitting next to me at the dinner table at the Italian restaurant. The restaurant. So, you want to go to the Italian restaurant. Here we go, let's go. So the first move is b3. Now this is a move you can play, and if you want to see something fun, you can find it. It's called something like on YouTube, this opening beats everyone all the time. And that's a grandmaster who's playing b3 and b6, and he'll take the pawn on g7 and the rook on h8, and then return it back to b2 square. And often he said people give him a pawn on e5 to take, and the trick is, apparently according to him, and he's really good, the trick is, according to him, is to return the bishop back to its developed square, to make your opponent think that it's not there anymore, because you've moved it from e5 or h8. You just move it back to b2 or b7, whichever the case. And he's very good. He just got, like, he's a grandmaster. I mean, but he got 28 wins or something, or 30 wins, blah, 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 all in a row, and he would be taking the rook. Doesn't happen for me, and I hope it doesn't happen for black here. So b3, e5, bishop b2, knight c6, e4, bishop c5, and then we have knight f3, d6. Now normally e3 is the move here. So we can see that there's 4 games that have played e4, and in the favour of black, because it's been 2 wins for black and 1 draw and 1 loss for black. So, but whereas normally here is e3, okay, is normally e3. As you can see from that amount of games that have been played. Is it 1300? Am I correct? I don't know. But if we go e4, then we can see that there's sort of 16 games played and 1. I think that's correct. I don't know. So it's in black's favour kind of thing, I think. So here's bishop c5, which is now out of the book for whatever this is, Stockfish or whatever. And Sky Phaser has a score of 2001 with a question mark next to it, with 22 points for this game, this 30-minute game. Oh, it's gone back into book again. No, it hasn't. It's just called the Nimzo Indian Attack Modern Variation. Anyway, this appealed to me. Maybe it's also the graphics from Lee Chess that I like. H3. Now this favours black, actually, generally speaking. Here comes knight g5. Now this isn't bad, actually, but white is met with castling, and then if knight e6, so castling, then if knight e6 here, then probably this move here, and this move, and maybe this move here, I think. I'm just looking at this from here. Here, I think that, I think this is okay for white. So maybe it was queen e8. I don't think it's queen e8. Because then we have rook takes, something like knight takes rook, queen takes rook, and then rook f1. Maybe I'm looking at something wrong here, but white anyway castled. So, but the other thing is that this pawn here, it's quite a good idea to actually, I'm trying to do the chess.com things, like colour the squares. Chess.com, whatever. This is quite a good idea, and it's quite, it's well known because it opens black's F file, and whereas if black keeps it closed, doesn't exchange any pawns or whatever, then this F file can be quite strong, especially for placing a knight to F4 and maybe queen D7 next move after castling. I don't know, maybe that was played, or rook F6. But this is quite a good handy place for the knight, that it can sit there for a long time. And the rooks can come out here or even here, because this bishop's looking down this diagonal, isn't it? So this square becomes weak as soon as the bishop comes onto what I call fair and shadow. As soon as the bishop fair and shadows, okay, and same here, if the bishop comes out to G2, then this square generally is a little bit weaker than if the bishop's looking down on it, that square sort of thing. So just a little bit of food for thought there. But anyway, here's castling, and we've got castling from white. Now, really black, white should develop first, just like I say to myself too. So I say it to myself, it's not just I say it here, I say it to myself as well. So rook f6 defends e6, of course. Then we have c3, a wee slow build up. But I kind of liked that it was a bit more attractive, this game. So rook g6, now, as one can appreciate, the knight has to move back, because otherwise we're just going to lose it. And we could play queen to h5, but just h6 is going to tell the knight to move away next move, and so forth. And then black would be able to play queen here and threaten rook g2 check, and queen takes queen on h5 sort of thing. So here's knight f3, d5, and then we have a contrast here, e5, e5, so we're exchanging pawns off, d4, e4, cd4. Now, I'm not particularly keen on black's next move, which is bishop b6. I think my idea for black would be this bishop to go back to d6 to have a little bit of better life on this diagonal, and also watching this square again. Why is that not working? Okay, I'm used to the other one. And also having a view of the square. And this bishop, however, excuse me, is hampered by the d4 pawn of whites. So that's probably what I'd be playing here. But bishop b6 was played because these are very good players. a4 and a5. Knight a3, knight b4. Went there before. Knight e5, of course, hits the rook. Rook f6, knight c2, offer the swap. Knight e c6, no thank you. Knight b4, we'll take one anyway. Knight b4. Apparently, it's good to swap off, according to the best coach in the world, a pair of knights. Otherwise, their hooves get on top of each other and all that sort of thing, and cause a problem for each other. So it's actually recommended to swap a pair of knights off. Well, I don't know. Bishop c1 and queen c8, bishop g5. rook f5, the best square on the planet. And then we have bishop to e3 again, or we have bishop e3. c6, g4, rook f8, and I'm looking at this mainly for the first time, except for the moves up to rook f5. I've seen those 21 moves of rook f5. Here's f4. This is a bit sort of like looking like I'm playing it, doesn't it? f4 and bishop d8, and here we got bishop d2. I'm not sure about bishop d2. Maybe we want to take that knight on b4, but I'm not sure about this move. But it might be okay because the black bishop's just going to support the knight b4, isn't it? So I'm not particularly sure about bishop e3 to d2. It's sort of going again into the it's still in the opening for white, really, but they're sort of kind of similar, but white is less developed than black. So bishop e7, and then we have king h2, c5, bishop b4, probably okay, cb4, rook c1, queen d8, and queen f3. I'm just looking forward to what I've been told about this game. Queen f3, queen d6, rook c5. Fair enough, that's a good move. It's a positional move as well. And so rook fc8. Can we just crunch that pawn? Looks like I can just crunch that pawn, I think. But can we? I think we can crunch it. So rook, but we could just do that too. Rook fc1, queen e6, f5. Screaming out to be played was f5. Rook c5. Okay, so here is what I was told was a double rook sacrifice, but it doesn't count really if it's if we're getting the queen. I quite like that. A double rook sacrifice, but white could have just played rook c5, of course, and been winning a pawn soon, or could they? Well, okay, so after f5, rook c5, we're not really going to play rook c5, are we? Because if rook c5, I don't know, it's not completely clear. Maybe this is better. I don't know. After, of course, now not bishop c5, maybe queen e5. But then white's got this as well, haven't they? Okay, so, and please forgive me if I am missing something obvious. It's very easy to do when I'm doing this. So anyway, went with that. fe6, rook c1, queen c f7, queen e7. Lost game for black. Yeah, I think that's pretty well over, isn't it? I'm just going to think about if I can see his game from the other game. How do I do that? I don't know if I can. Okay, so that wasn't a bad game. A few mistakes, but everyone makes mistakes. We make mistakes. I make mistakes all the time, especially when I push that clock, or as soon as I start the game. Thanks for viewing, and I hope you enjoyed that, and all the best with your chess, no matter where it's at and no matter where you're at in the world. Thank you for watching. Bye for now. Toodaloo, 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 toodaloo.